Merry meet and welcome. Today we're going to be taking on the black and white cookies. So this is a level 4 and I'm definitely going to agree with this because I feel like you're not just making cookies, you're also decorating cookies. And I personally have, I think it's like doing a flood cookie, which I've never personally done. I think they're supposed to be easy. And I know I've even had a friend who's used to love doing them every year, and even prepared flood icing one time for us. So in theory, I have helped decorate those cookies before. So we'll see how this goes. I'm very excited. And yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna get started with the base of the cookie. The recipe is going to be linked below. We're just making classic vegan substitute. So we have our vegan butter here, and then we have our sugar. We're gonna go ahead, cream this together. I do not have a stand mixer, so we're kind of doing a few modifications. Oh, I thought this butter was already a bit more soft. That is super fun for me. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm actually gonna go ahead and let this sit here for a little bit to soften it up, and then I'm going to be back and I'm going to cream these together. Merry meet again. So as we can see, we have this so much more melted. I did end up popping it into the microwave actually for 15 seconds because I was like, the oven is already preheating at 350 and I really don't like to waste the energy, you know? So yeah, was a whisk the best idea for this? Maybe not. But you know, we are here now. I don't know. I just sincerely don't want to mess these up. Like, I am so excited to do these, but I also recognize that this does maybe take some skill. Although in theory my sim at this point would probably be super maxed out because we've done a lot of recipes, and that's actually what I probably could have done. But living in a tiny home, you get so much extra skill gain. The sim in game leveled up so fast when I was just working on the first level recipes. So I was like, okay, glitch at that time, maybe. So maybe I need to retest this theory. Maybe I'll make a series of it. All right, with that, so we have this. We'll just, this will figure itself out. We're not worried. We're not worried. So now what we are doing is we already have the flour, baking soda, and salt mixed in here. And then I did forget to mix the vanilla into our buttermilk. So this is our vanilla going into our vegan buttermilk. So our vegan buttermilk is just a plant-based milk that has some lemon juice added to it. And so that's why the well shaken for us would just be stirred, but we're going to be stirring it anyway, and it's already going to be prone to doing that. So we're just adding this together. Hopefully you could have heard that through all of the stirring. And now, again, we don't have a stand mixer, so we're just going to mix everything into this bowl. So we're going to put in half of our flour, half of our buttercream, mix some of this, get it nice and good, mix in the rest of it, and go from there. Oh. So here's the other fun thing about cookies is sometimes it doesn't matter when you add them in. For us, I think for the vegan part, it doesn't matter. I had to, we're pausing this real quick because I was thinking, I was like, I still have this one vegan egg over here. When am I supposed to add it? Because it's like, I'm like, I definitely missed a step. And so it was supposed to be when creaming the butter, it wanted you to go ahead and add the rest of that part of the liquid in at that point with the butter, and then mix in your flour and your buttermilk and stuff. So we're just gonna mix it in now. We're doing a flax egg. I just thought it would be better. I know I still have to use so much more of the chia, but I thought the flaxseed would just be so good. So I went ahead and ground it up and put it in here, and so hopefully it'll still help. If I had actual ground flaxseed, that'd be better. Unfortunately, I grind it myself and I am so impatient, and my eggs show for it, you know, my vegan eggs show for it. But yeah, definitely so much more liquid now within that. We're gonna go ahead, add in the rest of our flour mixture and our buttermilk mixture. And then this is going to finish getting us our cookie dough, as it were. I definitely could have used a rubber spatula instead. I think that's probably more traditional. I just was using this whisk already for so much that I was like, let me just continue to use it. So with this, we're gonna go ahead and portion these out onto a baking sheet and bake them. Plain and simple. Then we'll go ahead, check in with you around what we're gonna be doing for the frosting and the decorating portion of this. But this is our base cookie. So it's essentially a sugar cookie for this portion. The, I believe there's cocoa powder in the black part. With that, yum, got to taste test a little bit there. Talk to you soon. Merry meet again. So we're gonna go ahead and work on making the icing itself right now. And so to be fair, I don't know if this is technically a royal icing or not. I didn't look to see if it's a royal icing. I was just looking for black and white cookies to make them however they're meant to be made. So with that being said, we do have our lemon juice here. I think I have a little bit more than it calls for, so I want to be careful. Oh yeah, it calls for a teaspoon, and I definitely have several tablespoons. So we're just going to add a little bit. And then this, of course, is going to just support any extra flavoring that's being put in there. We're only going to add about half of our water here. We're going to use that to support us later. I'm adding these larger liquid quantities first because it is breaking down those. Also, I don't have corn syrup. I stopped making truffles. I probably could. It might be fun. I used to make the Alton Brown truffles. They're definitely not vegan, but like maybe now it would be good for me to go ahead and try making those again. But that used corn syrup. So I'm just using a syrup. I'm just looking for the same consistency. There's a sweetness to it. I'm not really sure why else, like what the difference would be. And no, I'm not measuring it. It's supposed to be like about a tablespoon. So there we go. And then we have about like half a teaspoon of vanilla going in. And so again, the vanilla can go a little bit more to taste with the lemon. So we're just going to go ahead, mix this all together, and you'll see how this just gets all combined beautifully, and you can taste test it is the point. And this is going to be the white half. This is going to make the whole mixture. I have some cocoa powder here on the side. I just want to get this so you can kind of see how it like has that like thicker consistency. I don't know what consistency I'm going for, so which probably means I should have used exact measurements to be more the closest to the mark as I possibly could have been, but apparently that's not what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to taste it and go based off flavor, because this is going to be the icing and we want this to be as good as possible. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to play around with the flavor off camera just in case, that way, because it's personalized. But yeah, and also because I had so much lemon juice. But anyway, so here we are. We have our consistency right here. What we're going to do now is, I'm not going to just put this in another bowl and mix it. I just quite literally am going to go ahead and mix it because it's supposed to be half and then using this whole amount. So we're just going to mix in half of it. Okay, hopefully that was half and not most of it. It kind of looks like it might have been most of it, but here we go. Okay, so this is I am probably going to move this to a bigger bowl. I don't know, I just feel like I'm not being very exciting today. But I am very excited to eat these cookies. So, and then this is the other thing too, because I made sure I wanted it to stay a little sweet because to add it to this. Although not, oh right, that's the whole reason why we have this more water here, is to be able to add it. My bad, totally forgot. So that's why you only wanted to use half of the water, because you are actually saving it for this. And so you definitely want to add it a lot closer to the mixing stage, that way you don't start getting it into that like super worked up point that I did. So now we're kind of like smoothing it and easing it instead. Really kind of what it's like to work with clay is how I feel about it. But makes sense, right? Doesn't proceed to explain her thought. So I mean, it makes sense in a way how everything like returns back to nature kind of situation. So this is exactly how you would work with earth. But maybe you don't want to hear about that when I'm stirring something that's chocolatey. Okay, I'm going to continue working this. These are going to be our two things. Looks like I got a little thing, cocoa powder in there. But we'll be back after our cookies are out of the oven and are chilled, and we're going to be finishing them off. This has been a little bit easier than I thought it would be, but the decorating part is, you know, probably actually the most nervous part. So let's just hope that goes well. See you then. Merry Maid. So here they are, a little bit chilled. So I will say, I probably could have used a little bit maybe more baking soda just to help with the lift since we aren't using traditional eggs. But also I did flatten them out. You can't really tell on this one, but you can tell more on the other ones. Because I wasn't sure if you like really want them flat to make sure they'll be able to ice, or if they would flatten on their own. They will flatten on their own, so you don't have to worry about that. But anyways, we're having a little bit of a mess. So I already know this isn't quite, like I probably could have made this a little bit thicker consistency, but we're here now. So we're gonna go ahead, put this as close to the center as possible because it's honestly going to spread out further, and we just don't want it to spread on the other side of the half. We don't want it to take over the whole cookie. We want it to just stay on one half. And so yeah, so you can kind of see it's already doing that, but we're gonna go ahead let these cool a little bit more, see if we can get a little bit of a harden on them, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the other half with our black frosting. So with that, let's go ahead. I just think I definitely, like, a deli would be so mad at me right now. These are good enough for me, but I'm not even gonna give these to my friends, so sorry if you're watching this. Don't worry, I'll get you real cookies. I'll see you guys when we're finishing this icing. Oh, but the cookies do taste good, at least. Like I said, they're just not very presentable, so that's just the real travesty. Merry Maid again. So as you can see, it still flooded a little bit there. So definitely it's on me for this consistency and just working with this. I think maybe it is supposed to be royal icing and I just have no idea how to make that. But so with this, what we're going to do, I'm going to turn this a little, and because this is still super liquidy as well. So at first it's going to look like, oh, the right sheen and texture when it lands, but then it's going to spread and it's not going to make us look as happy. But for now, yeah, it spreads so quickly. So we'll do a little bit here on the other side, and then I'm essentially, like I said, these are definitely of poor quality. That was all me. That's just me messing up. Like, this gives like, oh, I should put like ice cream on top of these and just eat them. Also, I was thinking about it, but like, wow, these really are level 4 cookies and how different they are. And I had said earlier that the dough was like a sugar cookie dough. Not at all. It wasn't like one at all. I don't even know why I said that. So I think I was just trying to grasp to some familiarity. But anyways, these are my Sims level 4, very poor black and white cookies. Like, these probably would have set the oven on fire if this was me making them in game, so I apologize. But the good news is they are at least edible. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.